Hello class. So this video I will start unit 4, that is judiciary, constitutional, civil and criminal courts and processes. I guess you have an idea and you must have covered a little brief information regarding judiciary in your earlier classes in the subject of civics, wherein you must have seen that the courts, all the courts in India, they collectively form a part of judiciary as an organ of government, and there are various types of courts at country level, state level, district level and sub district level. Okay, and hierarchy of courts also, uh, as I said, country level, state level. So in this decreasing order, the hierarchy is over there, and courts are set up to deal with particular matters. There are some tribunals: administrative tribunal, consumer redressal tribunal. So these are courts of law only that deal with the specific matters, and you can get an idea that what matter they deal with by the name itself: administrative tribunal, administration matters. Then consumer redressal tribunals, consumer and a seller, if there is a dispute, then that would be dealt with in consumer redressal tribunal. So you know that Jago Grahak Jago campaign, in which there is an awareness campaign that aims to alert the consumers of their rights and how they have to make a purchase. After they buy something, they have to take a bill of it, so that later on they can claim that this or that article was purchased from that particular shop, right? And if there is some adulterated material which is sold, then the health of the consumer may get affected, so he can then file a suit with the proof of the bill. So these cases, these are consumer related problems, and that would be dealt with in the consumer redressal tribunal. Similarly, there are many other tribunals as well. And civil and criminal courts, if I talk about, it is evident by the name itself, civil court, that deal with civil matters. Okay, civil matters can be family related disputes, प्रॉपर्टी डिस्प्यूट्स, हेरिडिटरी, जो इनहेरिटेंस में प्रॉपर्टी आ रही है वो किस तरीके से डॉटर या वाइफ या सन में डिवाइड होगी. डॉटर एज विल बी अ पार्ट ऑफ शेयर ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी और नॉट. What all portion will be divided among various sons of a father. So that all property related issues, marriage, divorce, that all things are dealt with in civil courts. Criminal courts deal with the criminal matters. If there is a crime committed, then you can sue it in a criminal court. Okay, and always remember, crime is not against a single person, it is against the whole society, because society as a whole is affected due to the crimes. If a murder is committed, that would affect the law and order situation of the society collectively. So any crime, be it murder, rape, or any other crime, theft, robbery, dacoity, that all are always against the whole society. Obviously, the person who is directly affected by that action, he or his representatives form the part of victim. They are known as victim. But then too, crime is always committed against the whole society, because the society indirectly gets affected, right? So Nirbhaya rape case, I think that was a very prominent case that happened, in which, see, why the whole society, the whole country was at streets that time, marching with candles, with slogans, with placards. Why? Because rape being a crime was done against all the girls of India, all the societal members. That's why they came upon on the streets and marched and protested against the high rate of crime in Delhi and in India, right? So you can get an idea that how crime affects the whole society with this example. Okay, now let us begin. Unit 4, Chapter 1, Judiciary, Constitutional, Civil and Criminal Courts and Processes. Introduction. The aim of this chapter is to understand the salient features of Indian judiciary, its constitution, its roles, and its independence. We know that Indian judiciary is independent of the other two organs of government, namely legislature and executive. So in this chapter you will see what are the unique, salient means unique or special features of Indian judiciary, how it was constituted, and see, judiciary as an organ is also mentioned in the Constitution of India. There will be an organ of government, there will be courts, that all was given by the framers in the Constitution. What will be its role, and what would be qualification of an advocate to be an advocate of Supreme Court? What are the qualifications for a judge to be a judge of Supreme Court, to be Chief Justice of India? How many judges will be there? That all is decided, that all is given elaborately in Indian Constitution. Okay. Indian legal system derives its authority from Constitution of India and is deeply embedded in Indian political system. As I told you, all this part of judiciary as a body, कितने लोग होंगे, क्या होगा, सब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में दिया गया है. The presence of judiciary substantiates the theory of separation of powers, wherein the other two organs, legislature and executive, stand relatively apart from it. Parliamentary democracy, as envisaged in Indian Constitution, works at union and state level. We have a parliamentary democracy system because why we can say that India is practicing parliamentary form of democratic government, because we have regular elections that take place within regular intervals of 5 years, and we have parliament wherein we have two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So seeing these, we can say that India has a parliamentary form of democratic government. Okay, and it is divided at union and state level. We have one government at the country level, that is union government or central government, and each and every state also has its own government, right? So that is governments at the state level. Especially in making of law, there is direct participation of legislature and executive. Yes, as we know, legislature main work is to frame the laws in the form of legislations or bills, right? That when get the assent of President of India, gets converted into a law, and how that law will be implemented in the country, that is the work of executive. So the making of law, implementing of law is done directly by these through two organs of government. And judiciary main purpose is to protect the interest of citizens by not allowing the other organs to go beyond their role assigned. So constitution has given that there will be three organs of government. They have their own specific roles or specific works or functions that they need to render, and also separation of powers is done so that any one organ of the government may not step into the shoes of the other two organs of government, and if it does so, then judiciary can impart it wrong, that no, you don't have to step in, or you don't have to do the work of the other organ of government. Legislature cannot do the work that executive is doing and vice versa, and judiciary cannot do the work of legislature and vice versa. So this way it goes on. In brief, Supreme Court of India is the logical and primary custodian of Indian Constitution, while also being its interpreter and guardian. As I said, I don't know in this class or not, but I have said this, that judiciary protects the interest of people. That's why if there is a dispute between any two people or between a person who is not satisfied with a particular provision or a particular legislation framed by the government. If there is a dispute between two state governments, between a state government and central government, that all can be taken up in the courts of law. Okay, and Supreme Court is the guardian of constitution, interpreter of constitution, because see, Supreme Court has to deal with the matters based on the rules or regulations or provisions which are mentioned somewhere, and that somewhere is constitution. If it is a criminal matter, then courts have to look up to the IPC, that is Indian Penal Code. Whatever sections, rules and regulations, provisions are given in IPC, उसके बेस्ड पर ही कोर्ट को पर्टिकुलर क्रिमिनल मैटर के साथ डील करना है. अपने आप से अच्छा ऐसा केस आया, हमने अपना एक नया लॉ बनाया, अब हम उस लॉ के हिसाब से इस केस को सॉल्व कर देंगे, ऐसा नहीं है. जो बुक लिख दी गई है, जो कोर्ट्स, जो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस सेट कर लिए गए हैं, उसके बेस्ड पर ही आपको अपना वर्डिक्ट देना है. तो अगर कोई क्रिमिनल मैटर है तो IPC is the main book that they have to rely upon. And if there is some civil matter or there, as I said, a dispute between two governments or something like that, तो you have to look up to the constitution. Constitution के principles को read करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. उस statement से framer या जो वो statement लिख कर गया है, वो क्या बोलना चाह रहे थे, that is the important thing. If you are not able to understand what he is trying to convey to you, there is no use of that rule book being existent, right? So you have to interpret it in a correct manner, the way in which that framer has tried to. जिस तरीके से उन्होंने लिखा है स्टेटमेंट्स को पढ़ के, like I am doing right now, I am reading the statements and then I am interpreting it in the way I can and then I am explaining it to you, right? So similarly, whatever provisions or principles are given in the Indian Constitution, Supreme Court has to rely upon those principles. It has to interpret it. They have to read it. They have to understand what it is trying to convey. That is interpreting. They are interpreting it and then they have to apply it in the present matter that is in front of them, and it has also to protect the constitution. कि constitution के किसी भी principle में इतना अंधाधुन change ना कर दे legislature कि जो base part था या जो original constitution था वो ही बिल्कुल अलग हो जाए, एक नया constitution ही ना बन जाए. तो इन सब चीज़ों को protect करना भी ज़रूरी है. कहते हैं ना, अपनी ओरिजिनलिटी को प्रोटेक्ट करना चाहिए. तो लेजिस्लेचर, जो गवर्नमेंट जो लॉज बनाते हैं, वो इतने ज़्यादा चेंजेस ना कर दें कि एक नया ही अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बन जाए, कुछ ओरिजिनलिटी उसमें बचे ही ना. ठीक है. सो प्रोटेक्ट भी करना है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजंस को और उनको इंटरप्रेट करके अप्लाई भी करना है प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन में. दैट इज़ द वर्क ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट. Parliament enjoys the authority to amend the constitution. As I told you, Supreme Court has the authority to examine the validity of constitutional amendments, that whether this is valid enough, this is required enough at this particular time to be implemented in the country or not. The very best thing in this is the basic structure doctrine. I guess I had told you in the previous video when I was ending the previous chapter of unit 3, I had told you that time also basic structure doctrine. Yes, you remember. If you don't remember, you may refer to the old video and listen to it. Okay. So Supreme Court has the authority to examine that whether a particular legislation is valid enough or not, and if it is violating or if it is going against any of the principle of basic structure, then Supreme Court has the authority, has the power that it can render that particular legislation as null and void, and it will be not implemented in the country furthermore. Then Supreme Court ensures that the other branches of government perform their responsibilities in accordance with the Constitution. It has to see that whether whatever functions they are given as per the principles of Constitution, they are working according to that or not, and this also needs to be ensured that they are doing their own work only. I mean, they don't do the work of any other person, any other organ. वो अगर लेजिस्लेचर है तो वो लेजिस्लेचर वाला ही काम करे, एग्जीक्यूटिव का नहीं. ये ठीक है. Judiciary is final authority in interpreting legal issues and constitutional arrangements. Nature of democracy and development of state depends upon how the legal system conducts itself to sustain the overall socio-economic and political environment. Nature of democracy, how democracy will be developed in a positive or in a negative sense, that is also relied upon the legal system of a particular country. How the society will develop, law and order situation maintain करने के लिए किस तरीके से situation को handle किया, किस तरीके से judgments दिए. जैसे बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रिन ही एक बहुत लैंडमार्क जजमेंट है, तो किस तरीके से कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल को प्रोटेक्ट करना है, किस तरीके से डेमोक्रेसी को प्रोटेक्ट करना है, दैट ऑल इज़ ऑल्सो ऑन द शोल्डर्स ऑफ जुडिशरी. ठीक है, कि लेजिस्लेचर या गवर्नमेंट इतनी ज़्यादा तानाशाही ना करे कि डेमोक्रेसी से डिक्टेटरशिप पर हम आ जाएं. तो ये सब चीज़ें भी जुडिशरी ही देखती है. बात समझ में आ रही होगी. Constitution, roles and impartiality will be taken up in the next video.